Being called a troll, is that a compliment? Is that an insult? Is that, I don't know. What can I learn from being called a troll? Somebody recently called me a troll, and it kind of didn't upset me, didn't bother me. It kind of made me a tiny bit sad, but then I started thinking about why was I sad? I was sad because I had higher expectations for that person. Then I started thinking about, well, why are they calling me a troll? Well, probably because they had higher expectations for me, right? What I can learn from being called a troll. Somebody called me a troll, and I thought it was an interesting topic. So I decided to do a little research. Before I did some research, I started thinking about, what I thought a troll was and what alternatives there would be to that word. And then I did a little research. I pulled up Wikipedia. Oh, it's down now. I need to pull it back up. Internet troll. And there it is. And then I want to pull up another one. Okay, so what I came up with in my mind after somebody called me a troll, I was thinking about, what can I learn from this? What can I take forward from it? What's the value I can use? Boy, lighting is tough here today. So hopefully my pause there is giving you some time to think about it, right? To me, what I was thinking initially is a troll is a shit stir, right? Very basic. Somebody who wants to stir shit for the sake of stirring shit, attention or whatever, but just, out there like a little kid poking, right? And then I started thinking, I don't like thinking of myself as a troll. I may very well be, doing trolly things, but, ever since the second grade when I played the troll under the bridge for the Three Billy Goats Gruff, I never really thought of myself as a troll. So I started thinking, well, what am I doing? I don't really see it as trollish behavior. I saw it more as a critique or, critical thinking or something along those lines. So I'm thinking in my head, what's the difference between a troll and a critic? And what's, where do I stand? Am I really a critic? Because I really like people being critical. I like, pushback. I like challenging thoughts. I like conversation. And, but I didn't really feel I was doing that. And so I started thinking about critic, and I came up with this idea. Let me run it by you, let you think about it for a minute. To me, there's three types of critics when you're online or doing something in public, right? And with strangers, there's three types of critics. There's the person who's all on your team, the supporter. They're like, hey, next time maybe think about doing this, or hey, that wasn't so good that way, maybe do this, or hey, that was great, maybe add this, right? And they are 100% on your side no matter what. And they're all totally looking for positive change, right? And then there's the critic, kind of the flyby, like, hey, man, that sucked, and then they're just gone, right? And then there's the they don't really care so much either way. They're just, giving their opinion as they pass through or watch or transit, whatever. And then there's the critic that you've offended. There's the critic who's got a personal, emotional response to what was said or done or happened or took place. And they're motivated, a lot more intensely. And, they feel aggrieved or wronged somehow, right? So I'm putting this all together, and I'm going back to the whole troll thing, and in my mind I'm thinking, well, a troll's just trying to gain attention essentially, right? And then a critic, whether it's any one of the three, they're trying to achieve a change. They're giving feedback to create a change of some sort, and that change, no matter how you view it, they're all giving feedback trying to create a positive change. Now, the person who's upset, it may not seem like they're trying to create a positive change, but in the reality, the change they may want is negative. They may want you to not do what you're doing, and what you're doing may be a good thing. But the reality is all three of those people in their minds want a positive change. And I really appreciate those people. But the troll, my initial thought was he's not really trying to do anything. So then I looked it up, right? And this is where it got interesting for me in the thought process, and this is what motivated me to take the time to make a video. And who knows who's going to listen this long to it. But in slang, a troll is a person who deliberately... Oh, this is a different definition. Where's the Wikipedia? The Wikipedia was interesting. Huh. I get a totally different message this time. There were some key words in the other definition I thought were very interesting. Yeah, so this is close. Let me see what that one says. It used some new words for me. I'm not finding the same one. I should have... Oh, I did screenshot. Hold on. Screenshot. Okay, so this was, it says Wikipedia too. Internet troll. A troll is a person who posts inflammatory, insincere, digressive, extraneous, or off-topic messages in an online community, a newsgroup, forum, or chat room, online video game, or blog, with the intent of provoking readers into displaying emotional responses or manipulating others' perceptions. So my initial idea of what a troll is missed the real intent that they're ascribing to the word troll. So the intent of a troll, according to this definition, is to elicit in a response or change or manipulate someone's perception of what happened. And I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. Let me click over to critic and see what it says about critic, read to you what it says about critic. One who forms and expresses judgments of merits, faults, values, and or truth of a matter. Merits, faults, values, or truth of a matter. So somebody who forms an opinion and shares it of those things, right? And to me, that's a real interesting description. It kind of leads into what I was saying about a critic and how I thought there were three types, and they all want to see some sort of change. Now, what I didn't realize and what I see very clearly now is calling somebody a troll is like the highest form of being an internet troll. And the thing that was spinning through my mind and caused me to go down this rabbit hole in the first place is, one, what can I learn from being called a troll? But two, people who use that word, do I really want to support that? Because it's dismissive, right? The attitude I saw in a live stream I watched where, I don't know if it was me or somebody else being referred to as a troll, but I'm assuming it was me by the other things being said. The attitude was just dismissive. Oh, he's a troll. He's a troll, don't listen to him. He's a troll, don't listen to him. And specifically, like when I listen to Philly in the Philippines, he's very dismissive about trolls, never gives them any sort of credence, never gives them any sort of whatever. Brian is just a dismissive guy. And I've had people tell me who met him in person that, even when, they took time out of their vacation in the Philippines to go have breakfast and meet him, he was just dismissive and rude. And that's okay. I don't really care, right? That's one person's opinion related to me, and then another person's opinion, same, related. It's just anecdotal, right? But online, it's very clear that the word troll is being used to, wait for it, manipulate others' perceptions. So even if somebody challenges somebody online, another person online, with a valid criticism, with a valid critique, once you say they're a troll and you dismiss them, that's the highest form of being a troll, an internet troll, because you're trying to manipulate your followers who already have an affinity to you. You're trying to manipulate their perception. You're trying to exercise some sort of linguistic control over your followers instead of being objective and truthful. Now, I understand if you don't want to talk about somebody trolling you. I understand if you feel uncomfortable when somebody questions your behavior or questions your facts or your work product, i.e. your video, and says, hey, that wasn't very good. Hey, that wasn't very responsible. Hey, that wasn't very nice. I understand when, people don't like to be questioned. But to turn around and try to manipulate your followers by calling somebody a troll and being dismissive when they may have a valid critique is also kind of funny to me. It's sad. Like, there are people I will call a troll, but I don't see them bringing anything really credible. Like, I call Andy Omar, Oscar Despicable, a troll. And, he says, hey, I've got this. And I've never seen him bring the receipts. I first became aware of Andy Omar when he was saying Tim K wasn't even a veteran. And how'd that end? He's running down the street from the VA from, this monster called Tim K, giant man chasing little Andy down the street. It was the funniest shit ever, right? But Andy, I've never seen him bring the receipts on that issue. Now, you go back to like the Mark Thornton issue, may he rest in peace. But when he got in the fight at the coffee shop, Andy brought the receipts. I wouldn't say that's trollish behavior. I'd say he's calling out somebody, and he brought the receipts, and so be it, right? So it's an interesting situation to me, using Andy Oscar as an example there. Now, I'm not trying to single him out. It's just, a convenient example in the context of this Angeles City, Brian Philly in the Philippines, Brian Curver, group, right? But what can I learn from being called a troll? One, I can learn that calling somebody else a troll is not a good idea. Two, I've learned that when somebody does make a critique, unless it's just like complaining about my beard or something stupid, I should at least acknowledge them, right? I should at least thank them for making the effort to have an opinion and share it. Even if I disagree with it, and then maybe push back on most things. Because the other thing I learned here in this in this little subset of pushing back or listening to the critiques is a lot of times it's just a miscommunication effort. There was a comment on my one of my videos recently, and I was like, hey, thank you, but honestly, I really don't know what you're talking about. And then the person explained it, and I didn't know if he's meant as an insult or a compliment or just a observation, right? And then he explained it, and I was like, okay, well, that's a nice observation, and it could be an insult, it could be a compliment, and I'll take it as a compliment. But if I didn't question it, I wouldn't know. So the other thing, that other thing I learned about being called a troll is when people say things I don't understand or I don't fully understand, I need to stop, don't make a rational judgment, and question them, right? Because I see a lot of what I say being taken in a manner I don't intend it. And part of that's on me, the communicator, part of that's on them, the receiver. And part of it is just people are crazy, right? Just people are crazy. Like you can say the sky is blue and get 30 people arguing with you, right? So part of that's just people are crazy. But being called a troll, I think, doesn't bother me either way, shape, or form, right? None of these people matter in my real life. They matter very minimally on YouTube. But it was a interesting thought process, and I hope you all take the time to think about it. And the biggest takeaway for me about this whole troll word is when I see somebody using that word troll, if they're not bringing some sort of credible receipt to it, they're not being specific why that person's a troll, I probably don't want that person in my ear, on my screen, or anything for any length of time, right? I don't want that person in my bubble, my outer bubble, my stratosphere. I don't want that person anywhere near me because they are just being dismissive. Chances are they're just being dismissive. And if they're not being specific, I can always reserve the right to ask them, well, why do you call that guy a troll? Why do you think he's a troll? Right? And I think that will be, my go-to response. Well, why do you think he's a troll? Because it sounds like you're trying to manipulate me, the viewer, by telling me what I should think. And I don't like people telling me what I should think. I like people educating me. I like people opening up thought ideas. I like people, giving different perspectives. I like different conversations. I like steel man arguments. But I don't like people telling me what to think. And when somebody uses the word troll, they are cutting out all that and they're telling you what to think. Do you like to be told what to think? Do you like listening to people that tell you what to think? Do you like people that talk down to you? Because, truly and honestly, people that talk down to you probably aren't good for you. Just saying, probably not good for you. So when somebody uses the word troll, if you're still here, what I've learned in the last 6 or 8 hours, letting this grind away in my head while I'm doing other things in the back channel, is it tells me more about the person saying it than the person being labeled by it. It tells me a lot about the person saying it. It tells me very little about the person being labeled as troll. So that's what I got. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. That's the process I used to get there. And I would really, actually on this one, greatly appreciate your feedback and see what you think. How far off base am I? How close am I? What are your thoughts there? Thank you. Have a great day. Take care.